Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. I have a special guest. I want to announce our favorite. I would have never expected that I would be simpatico in so many ways with this gentleman, the guy who had the #1 news show on cable news in America for years, and he lost it because he told the truth, and that was really stupid. Because you're not allowed to tell the truth on cable news. And now he left cable news. He's doing much, much better. And he's a national treasure. Let's give a hand for Tucker Carlson is here, ladies and gentlemen. Tucker, thank you. The crowd is excited. I'm excited. It's really great to have you. Now, you're in the middle of nowhere, right?
I'm in the middle of nowhere. I think you were just here last week, and you can vouch for how middle of nowhere it is.
Yeah, it took me an hour.
Here.
I flew into nowhere, and then it was an hour drive from there.
Jimmy.
No, that is true. I grew up not far from where you live, but I wound up here, and I'm grateful to be.
Tucker, the reason you're getting attacked by demons is because you live out in the Evil Dead cabin.
There's probably some truth there.
Don't go in the cellar and read that book.
So let me ask you, my first question for you is, they always like to show, the national media, the corporate news, likes to show the national polls, which we know the national polls don't mean anything because we don't elect a president by popular vote. We elect a president by the Electoral College, which means there's only a handful of states and only a handful of people in each of those states that matter. And I think what's actually more accurate is they now have, you can bet. Did you know this, that you can bet on the outcome of the election? There's an app called Kalshi. And did you know this, Sam? Yeah. And
they're not bettors, they're traders.
Oh, they call them traders.
Yeah,
okay.
Traders.
Anyways, I checked it right before I came out here, and it's 53-47 Donald Trump on that app for the bettors. And so my question to you is, do you think that's accurate? And do you think the deep state will actually let Donald Trump become president if he wins?
Well, I mean, there are, I think, kind of three questions. One is he the choice of the electorate in 2024? Yeah. I mean, I think all the numbers show that. Second is, will he win? I think he's likely to next Tuesday. Third question, will he be inaugurated on January 20th? Harder to believe that. I don't want to be cynical. I want to be hopeful. I think we should be hopeful always, just as a kind of requirement of life. But they're pretty opposed to him. I mean, if you look at the media coverage in the last couple of days, I spent my whole life in the media. I'm pretty cynical about it. I've never seen anything like this never seen anything like this. I mean, it really is kind of the, sort of the final hours. They're kind of killing themselves on the way out. But that's how much the body is rejecting this organ. They don't want Trump in Washington.
And so the big news today was that the Attorney General, I think, of Arizona is now investigating Trump because they're saying that he threatened the life of Liz Cheney, which should probably he should probably get a Nobel for that or something.
He called for it, Jimmy. That's weird. I called for the execution. Give her a trial, though.
But you were there, right? Did he actually say, what can you tell us what he actually said? Because you know that the news media is not reporting it accurately.
Well, he said it to me. So, I mean, I think I can describe what I heard, which was, him talking about Liz Cheney, why he doesn't like her. A lot of the reasons that he doesn't like her is because she doesn't like him. Okay, fine. But then he made, I thought, a substantive critique of her, which is that she's a violence junkie. She's a war pornographer. She likes to kill people. She gets off on it. And that most people like her, most, armchair warmongers, have never faced violence themselves. She's never been in a fist fight. She doesn't know anything about violence, so she's happy to condemn other people to death. And he said, I'd like to go send her out, and why doesn't she face battle? And maybe she'd have a different perspective on sending other people to war. And this is like the oldest critique in the books. That this is the chicken hawk critique, which I think is fair, entirely fair in her case, and Bill Kristol's and David Frum's and the entire panoply of war pornographers who've kind of wrecked our country and the world over the past 20 years. And liberals have said correctly this about Liz Cheney for a long time and about her dad. And that's almost exactly what Trump said. You can look at the tape. And I wake up this morning and all of a sudden Trump has threatened to execute her with a firing squad. And I'm thinking, when did he say that? Oh, it was in an exchange with me. So,
it's too good to be true?
Beyond belief. It's too good to be true. Exactly.
Don't you give me hope and then take it away.
So you take that.
I'm not in any way, going along with that. But yeah.
Well, would you go along with this? Obviously, she's an empty shell that Dick Cheney remote controls like an avatar from his underground lair. Now, surely you'd get on board with that.
Well, she's evil, is the truth about Liz Cheney, who I know really well. I mean, and by the way, I used to, for about a year, text her and say, Liz, what are you doing? I'd see her do something, and she would respond to me. I was just shocked. It's weirder when you see people you've known a long time. I've known Liz Cheney for 20 years. It's weirder when you see them do things that, you find repugnant. You can't even believe that you know this person.
It's called monarch
But
programming.
no, I think she's thoroughly evil.
It's called living in Hollywood and watching all your old friends who you did open mics with suddenly talking about Asian hate and all that stuff and taking pictures with Kamala Harris. It's very weird.
I can't imagine. But I can't imagine because I lived in D.C. for so long.
Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.